Okay, we're out of executive session. Sheriff,
Thank you. I have a request for some assistance or some thoughts. I have a deputy going out on extended, civil deputy going out on extended medical leave. And I'm asking for some suggestions and thoughts how to fund that position going forward.
So you're gonna use part-time people to do that?
Yeah, I'm gonna serve some, John will serve some, we'll use as much as we can. I can't dump any more on patrol, but we'll do that. But I've contacted one person has served civil papers in the past that might be interested in it, was the answer that I got. But yeah,
on a part-time basis.
on a part-time basis, yes.
I'm going to, is there a part-time line in the civil?
There is not, but there's an overtime line. The overtime line has always been used for land postings, because those land postings has to be consecutive days, and sometimes those days fall over the weekend, which the civil deputy doesn't work on the weekend. So there's approximately $1,200 in there, so that can give us a start.
Yeah. And at least, no, I don't know. Part-time would be at least $25 an hour, right?
Oh, whatever the step 12A is, so,
Oh,
because our policy
that's
is
right, 12A. I don't know what it is. Definitely
26 something, I think.
Yeah, yeah. Doesn't make any difference. What I'm thinking is, two things I'm thinking. First of all, we simply allow him to overrun either the overtime or the full-time civil deputy's line. And at the end of the year, we'll decide how we're gonna cover that overage. Or, and I'd have to, Monica, do you have access to your balance on your accounts, what you're saying? The balance, no, you don't.
The only thing I have right in front of me is what's been spent. So on the overtime line, is that what you're
But
wondering?
that's, if you have all departments?
Mhm.
Because, okay, can you go to drug task force? 46, is that it? And tell me what percentage of the full-time agents, not the super, but the full-time agents, what percentage has been spent year to date?
A little less than half,
Okay, and that's because we haven't filled that second position.
about half, yeah.
I'm gonna suggest that either we let him overextend the line and we'll address it at the end of the year, or that we take and pay for the part-time civil process server out of the drug task force line, because he's had a vacancy in the second full-time agent, and so there's excess monies in there that haven't been spent for personal services. I'll leave it up to you guys, what do you want, unless you can think of a different way to.
Well, we don't really know where it's gonna be yet.
All I need to know is where you want us to pay that out of, so that Michelle and Mary Ann, when they do payroll, what lines to put that in.
I mean, I would assume the most appropriate thing is to charge it to the lines that it goes with, and then, yeah.
Transfer.
Then at the end of the year, once Bill suggested, yeah.
That's.
Then we can account for it, say, oh, gee whiz, why was this so much over? We can account
So
for it.
we would establish a part-time civil in the middle of the budget, would we want to?
Not necessarily, no.
No, but I mean, like, even the overtime, so basically,
Charge it to the overtime?
yeah, I mean, that's probably the best line you have, yeah, you could create something new, but.
I don't have a problem with that. So in other words, we approve the sheriff simply to hire, a part-time civil process
As
server.
needed,
Yeah, and we're gonna do as much as we can in-house, obviously.
And keep it
And
in,
charge that to the
keep it in,
civil process
keep it in
overtime.
civil, yeah. So, I'm sorry, keep it in civil is what.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's transfer some.
Yeah. So I'm going to move,
Well, do we need to take action on that now?
he needs to be permitted to overdraw that overtime account. And we're going to approve, my motion is going to be to approve the sheriff's use of the overtime account, overdraw the civil process overtime account for the part-time civil process server.
As needed.
To approve the sheriff's use of
You,
to permit sheriff. Permit the sheriff to
overdraw the civil process.
overdraw civil process overtime line to compensate a part-time civil process server for the remainder of this year.
As needed.
So it would be anyways. My motion is to permit the sheriff to withdraw the civil process overtime line to compensate the part-time civil process server for the remainder of this year.
Moved and seconded. Any further discussion, Mark? Has that accomplished what we need?
Yes.
Michael? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you,
So
gentlemen.
that's unanimous. Thank you.
Just one note that's not on the agenda. We're gonna take what's soon to be your K-9 car, get stripes, start taking off it, and the light bar taken off, and that'll be available for us to make that transfer.
Two.
To your animal control
Yes.
officer. Yes, yes.
Great,
Hopefully we'll have that maybe even as soon as next week.
great.
I don't know. Michael, maybe you could work with the sheriff, because we would want to remark that as the ACO vehicle. I would like to see it marked. I'm just wondering if we couldn't leave Hancock County at the bottom and take everything else off and then make an ACO decal.
It's got K-9 stickers in the windows. You
I
want
saw
those on
that
it?
too, and I thought, is he really keen on, I mean, I know he's got dogs.
That'll be the majority of his complaints, I suspect.
Anyways,
But K-9
He
means,
gets peacocks, emus.
yeah, it's an enforcement dog. you know.
Last week was an emu.
And that's true.
Last week he was trying to hunt down an emu that was on the list.
Yeah, well, I don't know if you're gonna get that back.
You can leave Hancock County and we take the sheriff on.
If you would work with Michael
Sure.
and figure out how we want to, how you want to re-decal that, to see if there's anything that's on there that could accommodate that re-decal.
and do we want to do it? Is there a reason not to do it?
Wouldn't we? I mean, I'd like, first of all, I'd have the recognition of the public, that we have an ACO officer.
One would also assume it saves a little bit of money and like,
Well,
not a lot, but.
the cost of removing it would be less, but putting what you want on it's gonna cost you, so
But I mean,
6.5 dozen.
yeah, either way.
My thoughts, if you want to do, I think it's a good idea, leave Hancock County on the bottom of it and just have animal control.
Which is whatever we add to it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
might be able to go right up to,
Karen's, or right here, yeah.
take it up to, what's his name, up on Christian Ridge.
Yep.
That is add animal control officer, so it looks like Hancock County. Yeah.
We'll work on that.
Yeah, we'll talk real quick.
Thank you again, gentlemen.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay,
I'm gonna move that we go into executive session on MRSA one, section 405, subsection 6D, to conduct union negotiations.
You're all
Seconded.
moved in second. All in favor? Aye. So unanimous. Give me a couple seconds to wind down.